Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life Hacks for Working Moms, the podcast that helps you overcome the overwhelm, embrace the chaos, and cultivate a life you love. My name is Megan Strand. I'm your host for the podcast and for today. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different. So if this is your first time tuning into the podcast, just know that this format is not typical. I'd be interested in your feedback about whether you like what I'm doing here or you prefer the standard podcast that you've grown accustomed to hearing. A couple of weeks ago, actually I should back up, at Christmas this past year, the gift that my children received was a trip to Utah to volunteer at an animal sanctuary called Best Friends Animal Sanctuary. I first heard about Best Friends when a colleague of mine had just returned from volunteering and was telling me about it. And the moment she started describing this animal sanctuary that houses almost 2,000 animals in the middle of the most gorgeous part of Utah, I was intrigued. Watched the video, brought the video home for my kids to see, and they were beyond themselves, excited and wanting to go. We've just returned, and it was really a magical experience for us to volunteer together for 3 days at this sanctuary. Kids can volunteer starting at age 6. There are different sections of this amazingly vast property that they have right outside of Kanab, Utah. There is Cat World and Bunny House and Parrot Garden and Dogtown and Piggy Paradise and Horse Haven and Rescue Village Rabbits and Wild Friends. All different areas and all different places where they house different types of animals. And depending on how old your children are, they can volunteer at different ones. So, for example, you have to be 10 years old to volunteer at Dogtown, which is one of the most popular places. You have to be 12 to volunteer with the pigs and the horses. And you have to be 18 to volunteer with Wild Friends, which are more like wild animals. Lest you think this is a children-focused experience, it's not. People from all parts of the country and all around the world come to volunteer here because it's the world's largest no-kill shelter. So what we did was take a few days. What you do is set up your volunteer schedule. You can decide where you'd like to volunteer in the morning. The morning shift is from like 8:15 to 11:30, and then the afternoon shift is 1:15 to 4. You can do either or both or neither, or come a couple days and skip a day and come back. It's just everything you sign up for. The process from start to finish is absolutely seamless. So what I thought I would do today is interview my own family about some of their memories from this trip that we've just taken and some of their favorite parts. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Are you nervous?
No.
No. How old are you?
I'm 11.
And who are you?
I'm Anaya Strand.
And who are you to me?
I'm your daughter.
Good. You've done very well so far. What was your favorite part about Best Friends?
Either the puppies or the bunnies.
Tell me about the bunnies.
Or the cats. I don't know. The bunnies, they had like huge cages and...
Like huge, like what? Like huge, like your house?
No, like... I don't know, like bigger than a dog cage.
Mm.
And so like these bunnies, they were really like cool. And we like cleaned out their stalls. And then we got to like play with the bunnies.
How do you play with a bunny?
You pet it.
You pet it?
Yeah.
And why was it? Why do you think that was the most fun, the bunnies?
I don't know. It's just like the only one that we were really actually doing work.
What did you do?
Well, we like cleaned out the cages and stuff, like fed them.
What did you learn about bunnies?
That they poop 360 times a day. The lady who was like in the bunny area, she was like, our motto is don't look back after you clean the cage because there's always going to be more poop out there.
Did you look back?
No. Well, yeah, sometimes.
Tell me what the first thing you did was when you got to Best Friends. Do you remember? What did you bring?
Oh, we bring, I think, $130 to Best Friends from my birthday party.
How did you get $130 at your birthday party? Just find it on the floor?
No, I asked for people to bring money to my birthday party, and they did, and that was really nice of them.
So you donated $130. Mm-hmm. Did that feel good?
Yes.
Yeah. So what was the most surprising thing about your time volunteering at Best Friends?
Surprising? Probably that bunnies poop 360 times a day.
How about the fact that we learned that bunnies eat their first poop of the day?
Oh, yeah. That's
I thought that was surprising. Would you want to go back to Best Friends?
Yes. I'd also like to bring a few friends.
Yeah. Why do you think it's such a special place?
I don't know, just the way that they treat animals like no other shelter or anything. They're just really nice.
Do you feel like your time there was useful?
Yes.
Who are you today?
Hello.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Emma Strand.
How old are you?
I'm 13.
Excited to be here with your mom?
Maybe. A little bit.
You're the actress.
I know.
So when you think back on all of the things you did at Best Friends, can you tell me a story of something that happened that stands out in your head? Like something really specific?
Well, it was really fun, and I had a lot of fun working with the animals because I'm kind of an animal fanatic.
Describe it to me as if you were there.
Okay, so we were walking. So Ron, we took his RV up to this spot, and I had no idea where we were going.
His RV?
His go-kart? I don't know. It wasn't an RV. Sorry, I meant like off-road or four-wheeler or something like that. It wasn't a four-wheeler. It was like this weird golf cart mixed with a car. It's weird. Anyway, we took it to this little spot, and I didn't really know what it was, and he didn't tell us where we were going. So we started walking a little bit, and I thought it was going to be like a huge mungo hike, and it turned out to not be. And there was this little outcropping of like rock that had a huge like lake in it. It was really cool and really fun, and like while I walked, I like kind of ran down there because it was super hot out that day, and just a cool air hit me. It was really cold. It was really nice after a really hot day, and so we decided to take a picture in the hidden lake, and there was these weird white spots that just like flared up every time my mom took a picture of me, and that was really strange because we didn't see them in the daytime when we're not taking pictures. It was really creepy. It was really cool. But then Mom took a picture, and there was none in hers. So apparently they loved me. And that was really fun.
What do you think those things were?
Dog and cat spirits.
Oh, that's an interesting theory. Yeah, it could be. What was most surprising to you about volunteering at Best Friends?
I don't know. I thought it was going to be fun for the moment I got there, and it was fun. Except for the parrots. The parrots were kind of annoying. But I feel like we did help them, so that's good.
What was most surprising to you?
Oh, that they have so many animals there. I thought it was going to be kind of a less big area than they did. They have a huge area, and they have lots of pets. And
how many do they have, do you know?
1,700. That's a lot.
Thank you for the dramatic approaching.
A lot.
Okay. Tell us about some backstories that you heard.
Curly Sue was a horse that we met, and she had a curly mane, but she was genetically she doesn't have any mane and tail because it was a genetic deform. So she's just a cute little pony that doesn't have a mane and tail. And when we first got there, we volunteered at the puppies. And there were this litter that just came in of like 10 puppies. And
what do you mean just came in? They just dropped from the sky?
Yeah. No, they found them on the side of a road in a box, and that was a backstory of those puppies. And they all were so friendly, and we were like the first persons they met.
How do they name the puppies?
They have like little names from, like, one was a Marvel group that had like Stark and like Hawkeye and stuff in it. And some other ones were like winter themed ones that had like Snowball and Snow Flurry and Frost Phoenix and stuff. And then the one that we met on the first day was the Mexican food puppies. So they had taco and quesadilla and fajita, which was personally my favorite and my whole family's favorite. But we had to listen here because he didn't get spayed. But just between you and me, I think if he was spayed, we would totally take him home. He was adorable. She was Carl.
What would you tell somebody that is thinking about whether they should go to Best Friends?
Do it. It's really worth it. And the animals all there are not mean or anything. They're all nice, and they all want to not necessarily be helped, but they want to like see people and get interacted with. I would definitely recommend this as a very fun thing to do in Utah.
My vision of what an animal sanctuary or shelter looked like was nothing compared to what it really was. I pictured some big rundown metal shed out in the middle of the desert, and there's just animals running crazy and cats and dogs living together. And
so wait, you thought that I was planning a family vacation to a giant metal shed in the middle of the desert?
I figured there was something more to it, but I saw a couple pictures of the landscape around there, and I was sold. It looked gorgeous.
So then what? So you thought it was a big shed, but what actually did it end up being?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Like what they do to, help these animals, nurse them back to health, and just socialize them, and everything else was incredible. You've got the bunnies who, I don't know, what was there, 600 bunnies or?
I don't think there were that many.
Okay, well, if you left them alone, there should be 600 bunnies in less than 24 hours. But there was the bunny facility was incredible, just with the cages and how clean. It was just so clean. With that many animals and this much poop, I don't know where it goes, but I would not want to fall into that place. I would have to say, if you're going to do puppies, maybe do puppies last, because then you don't have to fight with your kids for the next 5 days about not bringing home a puppy. But that was just such a special time, like seeing all four of us on the floor wrestling around with these puppies, and puppies are fun. Too bad we can't keep puppies. I think the overall experience was having the four of us there and really being able to enjoy not only watching ourselves go crazy with these animals, but just the respect that everybody has for each one of these animals, and how, like, especially watching the girls with the cats. I'm not a big fan of the cats, but it was fun. But seeing the girls there, because you're allergic to cats, and having them just be absorbed in the cat. One of my funniest stories is watching Anaya put a cat in a stroller and stroll this cat around these little paths in the back. The cat just loved it. It just sat the whole time, just staring out like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Did you ever think you'd be walking a cat in a stroller?
I never. Nor would I ever thought that I would have been a portion or walking a cat on a leash.
You did that too?
Both of those, yeah.
Did you have one in a baby Bjorn too?
No, the baby Bjorns, I think they were all taken at the time.
You can learn more about Best Friends Animal Sanctuary at bestfriends.org. And If you have questions for me about volunteering, you can always reach me on Twitter at Megan Strand or my website, lh4wm.com. I'm going to put some pictures from our trip as well as show notes from today on that site. So if you'd like to read more about it and see some pictures from our trip, please check it out. Music used in today's show by OMFG, Catmosphere, and A Himatsu. Links to each of their tracks in the show notes for this episode, and I appreciate you supporting these artists by purchasing their work in iTunes. And thanks to the artists for supporting the Creative Commons community. Thanks everybody for listening. I'll be back next time.